Today for my thought for the day, I thought I'd bring you a poem or a piece of writing that I did back in November 2018, which is based on the 12th verse of the Tao Te Ching, and it's called The Chase, and it goes like this. How do you navigate your life? For you, is it a sensory experience? Do vibrant colours attract you? Do sweet sounds fill your day? Do you look at the creation or for the creator? Do you chase the moon or do you seek inner peace? Do you have the attitude of gratitude or do you always want more? How is this life for you? Do you struggle or do you snuggle? The enlightened one has given up the chase. Contentment is their watchword. They have gone within and found understanding. They know they are in the world, but not of it. The ephemeral and its passing illusory beauty, like all physical forms, find its root in the miraculous. Let your mind be at peace. Conserve your energy. Let your growth as a spiritual being be unimpeded by the chase. Allow things to come and go. You are the miracle divine. So here we have my reflections on the 12th verse of the Tao Te Ching and what it spoke to me. And there is a chase that's going on within the human heart for something outside of itself that already exists within. That's what the Tao Te Ching teaches, that we shouldn't be looking outside, even at the beauty of creation. We need to look within and find that same beauty reflected inside us. The beauty of the world isn't, the reason we can see the beauty of the world is because we ourselves are containers of that beauty. It's a reflection. The outside is a reflection of what's going on within us. And therefore, to find peace within, it will then, that peace will be reflected out on the world that we experience. There is no other likelihood. There is nothing else that can happen. If you find conflict on the inside, maybe it's something that's troubling your mind, something that your mind is playing with, and the thoughts eventually become stronger than your heart's desire for peace, and then you lose that peace and you find that there's fear everywhere. The greatest joy is to know that within each one of us we contain that all that we need for this life. The spirit is where it's at, not the flesh. So yes, vibrant colours can attract you within nature or within the passions of other people as they speak. They may make you feel that there's something really worth following here, something that's vastly more important than any other thing that's happening in the world. But the most important thing that's happening in the world is you and me. There is no greater part of humanity, of being here, than the fact that we are the divine expressed in human form. That's it. we're here to interact with each other, to have, I call it a game, you know, a game that we play from heaven. It's a joyful experience, but there's so many distractions that turn it into something less than joy. And the passion that is meant to be expressed in our love is expressed in our anger, in our fear, in our resentments. I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else. I'm not devoid of it. It's just that I can see that there is a difference between the two. Chasing the moon. There's so much. John F. Kennedy in his speech saying, we will go to the moon and land a man safely there and bring him back. Before the end of this decade, they chased the moon. They had a point to prove that they were superior. The American nation was superior to the Russians when it came to space travel, because the Russians had beaten them hands down time and time again. It was a matter of national pride. They chased the moon, but really all they needed to find was that peace within, the attitude of gratitude, rather than wanting more. Beautiful little story about the Christian author Corrie ten Boom. I was in York this weekend, and at York railway station, not only is that the place where Paul Simon wrote the song Homeward Bound. I'm sitting in a railway station, got a ticket for my destination. That was York. And that's where he was sat on a tour of one night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand, and every stop that's neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. But also in York, at that same railway station, Corrie ten Boom had come to speak at St Michael the Belfry. That's where I was on Friday night, at St Michael the Belfry for a Christmas concert. And she'd been trying to get this message out of her heart into words so that she could express what it was that she felt she'd had laid on her heart to tell the people in the church there. And as the train's pulling out the station, she pulled the window down on the carriage and she leaned out and she shouted at this gathered group of clergy, all in the dog collars, you know, the Colgate Ring of Confidence that had slipped. Yeah. They're all stood there on the platform and she shouts at them, don't struggle, snuggle. If you're enlightened, you've given up chasing that which is outside. You've found contentment on the inside. There is a place when we were talking about it before, where you go outside the room, you leave the struggle behind and you go to snuggle. You find that contentment within, and whatever's going on around you, it's like you take a step back and it no longer affects you. If you choose to. It's not that you should. I'm not suggesting that you and I should be not in connection with the world. We're in the world, but we're not of it. We stand back and we say, yeah, there's all that stuff going off, but really, do I want to be struggling or do I want to be snuggling? Do I want to be content and at peace, or do I want to be someone who is constantly battling with what's going on around me and not liking it and being fearful? And do I want that? No, I don't want that at all. There's where the understanding is, inside. The passing illusory beauty. And there are some beautiful sights. I love to be out in the countryside. I love to see sunsets. I love the way that the light changes through the day. We had a beautiful sunset last night. So beautiful, the pinks and the reds, and it was just such a sight to behold. That it was a passing moment, passing, illusory, but definitely beautiful. But the real beauty is within, and that's where we need to find what we're looking for. All physical forms find their roots in the miraculous. Everything that ever was, everything that will ever be, came from presence, from divine presence. You and I, we're just expressions of that. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And it's not passing. It's not illusory, it's real. It's true. What is true? The truth of the human divine condition, not the stuff that's falling away. So my thought for the day, my guidepost is, even if it's only just for a few moments, practicing that peace, stopping the chase, and having an awareness that all the things that are happening around you are significant in this 3D time-space reality, 4D, isn't it? Height, depth, width, and time. This is a 4D universe that we interact within. But when you go within, you find the eternal, you find the joy that most people are missing. So thank you for being with me in these few moments. I'm going to read my poem or writing based on the 12th verse of the Tao Te Ching, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. So I'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 AM, whether there's anybody with me to share a conversation, or whether I'm just bringing another piece of my writing to you and expressing it in my own words. That's fine. And I hope this is of some blessing to you, the chase. How do you navigate your life? For you, is it a sensory experience? Do vibrant colours attract you? Sweet sounds fill your day? Do you look at the creation or for the creator? Do you chase the moon, or do you seek inner peace? Do you have the attitude of gratitude, or do you always want more? How is this life for you? Do you struggle, or do you snuggle? The enlightened one has given up the chase. Contentment is their watchword. They have gone within and found understanding. They know they are in the world, but not of it. The ephemeral and its passing illusory beauty, like all physical forms, find its root in the miraculous. Let your mind be at peace. Conserve your energy. Let your growth as a spiritual being be unimpeded by the chase. Allow things to come and go. You are the miracle divine.